You're good, Jacob.
So the book says that to create a new market, you're supposed to build back from the customer with a clean slate. You're not supposed to go in with any prejudices or try and tailor an existing solution to the new customer. The book also says that you can be so focused on your customer that your competition does not matter, but it's not recommended to do that because customers buy based on a comparison basis. And even if your product is perfect, your competition might be better. That's why it wants you to make a chart to know exactly where you stand against the competition. The chart shows how well you fill the top 2 persona priorities versus your competition. And if you don't, you may have to revisit the core and change where your market is.
So the largest obstacle a company faces is converting a customer to make a change. So our case, people who don't use leak detection or home prevention services to start using one. And a common mistake is to try it and beat the direct competitor instead of meeting the customer needs itself. So for example, we don't need to convert people who use mow and flow, but people who don't have a system in place at all. So if we have a good foundation and are able to convert users, we have a higher chance of being successful.
So to do all this, we need to create the chart, the competitive position chart. And to create this chart, we need to start with identifying the 2 priorities of your persona and assuming that those priorities are all that matter. Then using the priorities, we would make a graph according to these instructions. So you would have 2 axes. On the x-axis, you have the first priority. On the y-axis, you have the second priority. Then closer to the origin would be the bad state, and further away would be the good state. And then you would plot your competitors according to where they are. So if they're good at priority 1 but bad at priority 2, you would plot them according to. So using this, our goal would be in the top right quadrant of the graph so that we meet both number 1 and number 2 priorities.
So for the status quo in our case, it would be that most people don't have a leak detection system and have never seriously considered installing one. So we would have to overcome this idea of not needing a leak detection system. And then defining our competitive position would be a quick way to validate our product against our competition. 2 possible priorities for us would be preventing or stopping home water leaks, and then another would be saving users money. So we would plot that on a chart, and then where we stand compared to our competitors. And then using this chart would be an excellent way to communicate our qualitative value proposition to the target customer.